Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Jason Lucchese here. Happy New Year. I'm going to go ahead and get things kicked off here in just a second. I just want to make sure before we get started that you guys could see my screen and you could hear me okay. So if you can, just type into the box to your right if you can hear me and you could see my screen so I could go ahead and proceed forward with today's live coaching call. So just, okay. Hey, Ben, Stan, Letitia, how's it going? Thanks for chiming in. Michael, Jay, Roy, Carolyn, Mike, Tom. Hey, guys, thanks for coming. So it looks like a lot of you guys are chiming in and everything is good to go. So let me go ahead and get everything started here. So, guys, again, it's 2013. Welcome. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the email for registering for this particular coaching call. And I'm going to be going over goals, goal setting, and how to accomplish your goals, and even how you guys could, work more with Clint and I on doing more deals in 2013. We really want to start working with more of you on doing more deals. Towards quarter three and quarter four of 2012, we started doing a lot of deals with a few of our students, and it was great. We were able to make money. They were able to make money. We were splitting profits 50-50. It was a win-win. We were, they were bringing the deals to the table. We were bringing the buyers to the table. It was definitely a good time, and I want to expand on that for everybody that is joining us or is listening to this as a recording, that we want to do even more deals in 2013. And that's why I really wanted to put together a coaching call like this so everybody can understand the importance of goal setting. Okay, so let me hop right in here. Let's start off with taking massive action in 2013. If you already haven't, hopefully this call will really kind of kickstart and get things going. This quote is actually a really great quote. I'm a big Bruce Lee fan, and this quote is: "If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. Make it at least one definite move daily toward your goal." And I don't know really how much more true that can be. Because so many people get tied up in, watching this training module or, trying to overthink, oh, this contract or how do I do this? It's just get the wheels in motion, get what you need accomplished. The people that, don't accelerate at the fastest speed are the people that overanalyze and overthink. Okay, if you like the quote just said, if you spend too much time thinking about just that one thing or several things, you're never going to actually see the results that you want. And that's why I really wanted to put this call into place. Okay, and if you have questions, we're gonna, like usual, we're gonna be answering the questions at the end. So stay tuned for that. But if you have questions while I'm going through the presentation, just go ahead and feel free to drop me a line. I'll go ahead and answer it at the end here. So I'll spend as much time as needed to get questions done. If you want to raise your hand, you could raise your hand. If you want to get unmuted and talk with me, I'd love that. And we could I'll go over a little bit at the end of what Clint and I are looking for deal-wise. And if you guys, come across anything, we'll be more than happy to partner up with you on that. But let's kind of go over the overview of what this coaching call is going to really be about. It's going to be kind of taking that step that's needed in the right direction to get that success. If you could see on my screen here, most people are afraid that they're going to fall into the crevice when there's a bridge right in front of them with the steps laid out right in front of them. So we're going to be going over goal setting, how to hit your goals, setting up an action plan for success, how to properly adjust your plan if something isn't working out well for you, and answer some questions from you at the end. Okay, now this next slide, there is a word in there that you may or may not like, but it's from a site that I got from a guy that I really have a lot of respect for. He throws a seminar once a year called the Awesomeness Fest. So he's totally non-corporate. He could have went the corporate route, but he started up his own company with no money, no credit. And I just want to share with you what was on his site. It's not the whole entire thing, but I want to kind of give you just like a brief description of what was actually on his blog. And I actually have the website at the end. So forgive me for the word. It's a swear word, but we're all grown-ups here, so we could get over it pretty quickly. Here it is. Business plans are mostly bullshit. Okay, and I put this on here for a reason. Okay, so the main reason why is I really want people to kind of think about that title there. Okay, and Vishen, the guy that's with MindValleyInsights.com, this is what he had to say. My first two companies failed. Both were planned out in detail on business plans. They were tech startups I tried to get funding for in the Valley back when I lived in Mountain View in 2001. Every year on January 1st, I borrow my son's color pencils. And this, he's talking about now. I removed some of the text that was in there. He's talking about now what he does with his team. And that is, he borrows his son's color pencils and draws a 5-year diagram of where he wants to take his company. Okay, then he shares the vision with his team, and they start hacking away at certain things that are on there. Okay, the problem with business plans is that they get you focused on the minutia rather than the vision. Okay, start with a vision, preferably in the words of Joe Vitale, one that scares you a little and excites you a lot. In the words of Stephen Blank, no business plan survives first contact with customers. So quit planning and start doing. And you can check out the guy's website. It's actually very insightful information, hence MindValleyInsights.com. And off to the right here is the business. They do like a 5-year diagram. And what I'm going to be going over is like a 30, 60, 90-day type deal. And it's always good to do stuff like a 5-year plan. And just know that you're obviously I wouldn't do it in pen. I would do it like, if you want to do colored pencils, that's fine. It's probably pretty cool, I think, to do it like that. Just know that you're going to have to erase things, and as you're going, some things may or may not work out, so you're going to have to change that plan around, which we're going to really dive into on this particular coaching call. So with that being said, let's go over goal setting. And I put important with a question mark because of what we just read. Now, I like to just have visual goals in front of me. It keeps me motivated. And plus, I keep things like the Bruce Lee image. I print that off and I put that on the goal setting sheet. So it kind of inspires me, motivates me, and keeps me going throughout the day. But the first thing that I want to tell you is, for me at least, and I'll be talking the whole time about what I'm doing and giving you recommendations on what you could be doing for your goal setting and any type of planning that you want to do. Now, and I'll get into a lot of good stuff here in just a second, but the first bullet is set realistic goals by making a challenge to accomplish them. So, you don't want to say, for instance, like, hey, I'm going to make one connection a day on LinkedIn with an asset manager. To me, that's not even a goal. That's just something that should, that's not even that's something a kindergartner can do. So you want to set something that's obviously realistic, but it's obviously going to take a little bit of time to get it there. So it's just like, if you have a ladder going up to a roof, you're not going to just stand there and jump up there unless you have some sort of special beam me up skills or something, some sort of specialness with your vertical jump to where you shouldn't even be an asset manager millions. You should probably be playing in the NBA or WNBA, or you could be you could be a high jumper. But anyways, you don't just get up to the roof by doing one step. It takes a few steps. So you have to do something that creates a little bit of action that's needed on your behalf, or else it's gonna be way too easy for you, and it's gonna be something that you're gonna constantly have to be redoing your goals, that's not a bad thing either. But make something that's a challenge for you. If you don't feel challenged, then you may or may not want to proceed forward. So, for example, some of the realistic goals that I would set, like if I was just starting off uh, with a program like asset management, I would send connection requests to 20 new contacts a day through LinkedIn. Okay. Number two could be find 5 to 10 new cash buyers a day through the MLS, Postlets, Trulia, Facebook, LinkedIn, Craigslist, YouTube, Twitter, Google searches, etc. Number three could be send out emails to my new connections that I've made on LinkedIn. These are things that are goals that will get you eventually to where you want to be, especially for this type of a goal. What I'm trying to get accomplished here is with the new contacts through the connection requests is I'm obviously trying to find the individual that I could get paired up with to where I could start getting deals sent to me. That's the whole reason you're involved in asset management is to find these contacts that have deals to where nobody else has access to them. Okay, we just got access not too long ago to deals that are completely off market. Nobody else has access to them. And I get asked all the time, well, why aren't these banks showing them to people? And I was on a call yesterday. I was doing a special call for realestatemogul.com. And a lot of people are always wondering or asking me, well, why doesn't the bank just foreclose? What's up with all this shadow inventory? And for those of you that aren't familiar with shadow inventory, it's just inventory that hasn't been foreclosed on yet. One of the big things behind what I'm talking about right now is most of these banks don't want to have REO inventory. They don't want to have bank-owned inventory because that looks bad for when they get audited by the FDIC. They would rather have a mortgage that's non-performing on their books that nobody knows about. Obviously, if they get audited, the FDIC could find that, but they don't want to have REO inventory because they'd rather try and work something out with a homeowner or try and do something to get that worked out to where the loan could get back to a reperforming stage. Now, for us, it creates a great opportunity because there's very, very little competition with trying to get those types of deals. So that's why we're trying to go after new contacts, because if we can get a hold of, state banks, regional banks, hedge funds, capital fund providers, we're going to be able to find out how to get in contact with these particular deals that nobody else knows about. And by having the cash buyers, you're going to be able to get your deals sold extremely fast. And by constantly reaching out to these people through email from the connections that you've sent out on LinkedIn, you're going to constantly be getting paired up with the right people at the right time. And you have to have these goals in place so you can reevaluate it. And I've put here for the third bullet, reevaluate and set your goals every 30, 60, and 90 days. So have a 30-day plan with a 60-day plan and a 9-month plan or 90-day plan. I don't really like to go too much over that because like in the little article that I just read to you just a couple seconds ago on the previous slide, you know, if you spend so much time on planning, it's really hard to really kind of execute and take action. At least for a lot of people, you might be a person that is really good at putting a plan together and sticking to it, taking action, and executing it to the fullest. Now, the one thing that I don't want you guys to forget is the following to go by, and that is, you have to first make a plan, do it. Um, check the plan. Every now and then, maybe every week, you want to check your plan, and you may need to adjust. That could be something that's necessary. So, say for instance, you're doing you're 8 days into your goal, and you've already sent out maybe 25 new contacts a day. Well, you've already exceeded that goal, so I'd probably make it to where I need to send out 40 now. So that would be something that I would adjust on my plan, and then start doing that, and then checking that every 7 to 10 days. So I hope that makes sense. I'm a big believer in plan, do, check, adjust. That's definitely something that's necessary whenever you're setting any type of goals or planning something out. That's something that's extremely necessary for you to be successful. Okay, so let's go on here with hitting goals with an action plan. Okay, so first you want to find out what it is that you want to accomplish. What is your goal? It could be, for a lot of you, could be uncovering and finding money. You want more money on a monthly basis to come in, and that's fine. A lot of us want more money. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to have the right goals followed with an action plan. Okay, so the next part would be, so you'd have to think about it. Think about how you're going to get the thing that you're wanting, the thing that you found that you want. You have to think about it. How am I going to go about getting it? Okay, you can't just think money and you walk out your front door and there's a big envelope full of $10,000 in cash every single week. Unless you're a part of that whatever it's called, the Publishers Clearinghouse, that's going to be something that's not going to happen. So just trying to be realistic here with you. Next, you have to plan it. So draw out your plan. Some of us are visual learners like I am. That's why I'm doing this slide as a visual rather than me writing something out and doing it that way and explaining it to you like that. I think a lot of people are visual learners. So right now we're at find it, think it, plan it. Okay, so just, it doesn't need to be anything elaborate. It could just be like a couple of sentences that you write, but you just need to know how you're going to get the thing that you want by having a plan. Okay, so the next thing is you have to execute it. It's like, I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions. I believe in life resolutions, because 99% of people fail with New Year's resolutions. So I believe in having a life resolution, something that you want to change that will make you a better person. A lot of people have the little things that come around for New Year's resolutions of wanting to lose weight. That's great. That is awesome. But a lot of people fail once they don't see results after 2-3 weeks. The main reason why, they didn't have a plan. They didn't have a proper nutrition plan laid out. Trust me, I know. I used to prepare for bodybuilding. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to come into tip top shape if I'm eating pizza and burgers. I have to eat chicken, fish, rice, sweet potatoes, no sodas, all water. There's certain things that you have to do, and I believe we have another gentleman that actually just did a bodybuilding competition. His name's Scott. I don't know if he's on here right now, but it takes a lot of preparation to do things that you really want to exceed. That's why athletes, like, let's just say professional athletes, they're in that certain position because they were dedicated. Some people have really crazy genetics and they could do certain things, but it's just like anything else in business. You always see the top people, the top 1% in any type of a business. either it be corporate, multi-level marketing, real estate businesses, whatever type of business it is, it's because the person maybe woke up at 5 a.m. and left the office at 9 p.m. I'm not telling you to do that. I personally think that's foolish. I did do that for a while at Countrywide, and I lost probably 4 to 5 years off of my 20s because I wanted to be this big corporate guy that I envisioned, and nothing positive really came out of it. So make sure it's a plan that you set for yourself that you envision. Like a lot of the plans that I have, I want to make sure that I have freedom so I could spend time with my wife and two young sons that are 4 and 2. I believe those are the years that I really want to accomplish by giving a really good. I want to leave behind a legacy with my family, and I'm not going to be able to leave behind a legacy if I'm constantly in an office and they can't really have a good role model. I don't want to be the role model of being 14 to 16 hours in an office. I want to be able to be the dad that shows my children great things that they can accomplish, seeing the world, doing great things with yourself. Those are the things. And if working 16 hours a day is your thing, I'm sorry if I offended you. But for the most people that are on here, it's all about um, doing something like real estate, obviously, and having the proper freedom to have with your family, okay, or having the freedom to do something else. And when you execute, you're eventually going to get your prize. Now, does things come easy in life? No, they don't. I'm sorry to break that to you, but they don't. They never have for me, at least. I've been through quite a bit, and nothing I've ever achieved has come easily. So it took me a while to get to where I am today. And the main reason why is I used to have no money, no credit, and I never really set a proper plan. Like when I was with Countrywide, it's crazy how I steered away from things. I used to set before I would leave the office. I would write down on a yellow pad the goals that I wanted to accomplish for the next day. And it's crazy. As soon as I left Countrywide in '08, it's amazing how I really kind of went away from that. And I really thought that was probably one of the top things that I really could have taken away from a corporate environment like that. And I'm getting back to that now, to where every day I write down everything that I would like to accomplish, and it's typically the top 5 things that are most important. So that's one of the things that I would highly recommend if you're wanting to be better with your time. Do that. Do that for sure. Put down 5 things that you would like to accomplish that are things that need your attention right away. Uh, you don't necessarily have to put them in numerical order for what needs to be accomplished right away. Do that after you put your 5 things down. Okay. Like yesterday, I had a call with Clint, our first call of the year together, to where we talked about what we wanted to accomplish together as a team, and that was a major thing that I wanted to do, was get the call done to where we could talk about our ideas, execute the ideas, and get them going. And some of that had to do with today's call of how can we start doing more deals with our current student investors. So we really want people that are have a plan and they know exactly what we can do together. So I hope that makes sense. And this plan, the 6th part here is just do it again. Keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and you're going to see the results that you want. I could 100% promise you that. I'm not going to make any guarantees because I'm not going to be I'm not going to be there holding your hand, so I can't make any type of guarantees on that. But we are here for you. We do these calls for you so we can make sure that you are successful. well, that you at least have the tools to be successful. Because I can't just give you $2 million and be like, okay, you're successful now. That's not how it works, unfortunately. So let's talk about adjusting the plan if necessary. So let's talk about number one here. If something you're trying to execute isn't working, that's fine. Don't get all freaked out. Okay, take a step back, see what the potential problem could be, and make revisions to try again. Okay, it leads right into this quote from Thomas Edison. I've not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Okay, I'm not telling you to do it 10,000 different times. Maybe 3 times until you get it right. You may set something, execute it, and it's not working, so you need to make a couple of revisions, and then it starts working for you. That's going to separate you from all the other people that get into educational programs. Is they start with something and it may not work right away. They get discouraged. Put the education program on the bookshelf. Let it collect dust. They see the next shiny object and they're like, "Woo! I'm going to go ahead and go after that." Don't be that person. Okay, try working on it a couple different times. Don't just give up so quickly. Okay, or else you're not going to accomplish what you really want to accomplish. Okay. Number two is, how many times would you keep going if a problem is still bothersome and you're at a standstill? Well, like I just said, many adjustments may be needed, but I wouldn't waste much time if you feel like with each adjustment that you're not making any sort of positive traction moving forward. It could be 3, 6, 9, 12, or even 20 times for you to really nail down your plan uh, and making the fine-tuned adjustments. Okay, that goes into what Michael Jordan said here. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying. So, you may fail 1 or 2 times. I've definitely failed quite a bit, and I've been able to learn from each one of them. And something that I just want to share with you guys really quick is there's a guy. His name is Ram Das. ARM and then DASS. He's a gentleman that goes around talking. He's kind of like in a religious type setting, and he used to go around and speak to people across the entire world. Well, I think as of like 6, 7 years ago, he had a major stroke, and instead of getting negative about it and feeling sorry for him, he turned it around to a positive. And this is something that I probably wouldn't even have done. He's now in a wheelchair. So the one thing is he now says, well, instead of me traveling all around the world, people can actually come to me. People can come see me now. And he gets a lot of people that come and see him. The other thing, too, is he can't speak as fast as he used to. So now what he says is he gets to, when he's on stage talking, he gets to actually plan out more of what he's going to say, so it has more meaning to it. Okay, so how some people take their current situation, and then really kind of turn the light around and be like, I could turn this around and be a positive, is great. Like when I first started doing real estate, I saw this video of this entrepreneur. He made a video of just walking outside. And he was like, I have the luxury of being able to walk outside when most people are inside an office. And I was like, you know what? That's awesome. I'm currently, not doing too well. I'm broke. My unemployment's pretty much almost done, and I don't have much. I don't really have anything in the bank at all. I literally had close to $0 in my bank account, and then I was like, you know what? That is something that I have. That's a luxury. I could walk outside right now, take a walk, and come back in. And I don't have to worry about some boss giving me a dirty look or saying, "Hey, what were you doing?" Sometimes we just take things for granted, And like in this picture right here from Pursuit of Happiness, if you want something, go get it. Period. By Chris Gardner, and that was from the scene from when his son was shooting basketball. He was playing basketball, and uh, Will Smith was the actor in that movie, obviously, and he was frustrated at that time because they didn't really have any place to sleep. So, he was really just trying to figure out what would be the best for him and his son. So he was frustrated and said something to him about how nasty the world is, and people could turn things around very easily. You know, like in that quote, if you want something, go get it. Period. Um, that's what you have to really think here. Okay, I'm not trying to be the Tony Robbins on this particular coaching call. I just really want people to be successful with um, Asset Manager Millions, or even with if you're with another program and you're trying to couple different methods out. I really just want people to be successful, and this is stuff that a lot of people don't teach: is proper planning and proper executing and taking the proper adjustments if needed to their plan. It's just a lot of people really don't go over a whole lot of that, and just give yourself a commitment. If you're interested in something, you're going to go at it when you're interested. But if you make a commitment and you feel like your back is up against the wall, you're going to go and make it happen. Okay? So make a commitment to yourself, not to us, not to Asset Manager Millions, not to real estate, but to yourself. Make a commitment to yourself that you're going to be extremely successful. Okay? And we want to be able to do some deals with you here. Okay? So we're at that time to where we're going to take some live questions from you guys, the audience. And so what I need you to do is raise your hand by using the control panel provided to you by GoToWebinar. You can either use your microphone provided with your computer, or you could just simply use your telephone. So if for some reason you don't have a microphone on your computer, that's fine. Just use the GoToWebinar box and click, like right now you're listening to me on either a microphone or your telephone. But if you're listening on a microphone, just simply click use telephone, call in, use the access code, and we could talk to one another. Okay, I'll unmute you and we could speak one on one. If you can't speak live on the call, that's fine. Type in your questions within the box provided to you by GoToWebinar. I'll make sure to answer as many questions as possible. I will let you know, I really like doing the live questions. It really helps the people that are on the call and really helps other people that are on here as well. Okay, so one thing before I start answering questions for you guys is I told you at the beginning that I was going to tell you what Clint and I were looking for deal-wise. We're looking for nationwide first position non-performing notes. We're also looking for bank-owned REOs that are off-market, and we're looking nationwide. We have ourselves and several buyers that could take down pretty much any size right now. So if you have anything that's nationwide, we would like to be under 50% of fair market value. If it's kind of like a one-off or a twosie deal. So if it's one or two notes, we'd like to be under the 50% of the fair market value. And if it's a bulk package, we obviously want to be considerably lower depending on the size. So just get in contact with us on that. And before I forget, if you do have your business plan for 2013, you could send it on over. I'd like to take a look at it if you want me to. And I just want to let you know I'm here to help you achieve your goals. I want to be with you in your success in 2013. I want us to do a lot of deals together. So let me go ahead and take some questions from you guys, the audience, and let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. So we don't have any hands raised. So if you want to raise your hand, you could go ahead and raise your hand. I'll go ahead and unmute you. yes, I'm going to go ahead and send out. Hap asked, "Are you going to send the slides from this presentation to us?" The slides will be posted within the membership community. Okay. Um, the Asset Manager Millions program could, if you're not already involved, it's at getamm.com/ free presentation. So I had a gentleman ask that. So let me go here. Let me see. Terry is asking, "Hi Jason, I'm glad to be back. How do you know that what the banks are selling to you is not stale, meaning that it has been put out to other investors many times? Thanks. As always, you guys are great, and I'm not giving up." Terry. Terry, to answer your question, um, if it's coming from a bank, that's um, more than likely it's not going to be something that's stale. If it is, then um, you can obviously get it for a finer discount. So I would just, I would ask those questions about the discounts and find out what type of discounts are available. So you could find that information out. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Um, Let me see here. Um, Francis asked, Preston Ely indicates that real estate is changing as we know. How has the new real estate shift affects the notes industry, and do you have a resource site to visit as well to get information? Since I have been sick and I am starting notes as a beginner for this year, how do we get a chance to work with you and Clint? Well, Francis, if you have deals and you follow our program, you can work with us. Um, like I just kind of explained, few minutes ago of what we're looking for. Those are the details of what we're really wanting. So I highly recommend going through the program under training modules. Click on that tab and go through the training modules first, and go through that, watch it, and that's what I would highly recommend. Um, is going through there and just kind of going through the training modules to find out what Asset Manager Millions is all about. And to be honest with you, I did a special call yesterday for Preston Ely's group for Real Estate Mogul, and a lot of the things that people had questions on was notes, because it's something a lot of people been saying this for 2 years now, that I got out of short sales to do notes because it just makes more sense. There's less competition, um, and it just makes more sense. The shift is going towards mortgage notes. REOs are still out there, but not a lot of people are doing them anymore because of the shadow inventory. Um, so that's why you've got big places like you've got BlackRock out there that's getting involved. All these big gigantic hedge funds that are wanting to get in there and buy as many deals as possible. They see the opportunity, and us as investors, we can provide that to them because they're not wanting to buy notes, but what they are wanting to buy are REOs that are off market. And what we teach within the program, Francis, is to go after these notes to where we could either do a deal in lieu or take it to foreclosure and then sell it to these hedge funds. And we could sell individual notes to hedge funds or individual REOs to hedge funds. A lot of people have this misconception out there that you can't sell one to hedge funds, and that's completely obtuse of people to think. You could definitely 100% sell one-off bank-owned deals to hedge funds. So I hope that helps answer your question, Francis. But right now is a great time to get involved with this business. Okay. Lisa, what is your criteria for students? We just went over that. And one thing I forgot to go over, we want to only work with, so say for instance, it's you. You find the deals. We don't want any broker type daisy chain deals. If you're dealing with a broker, that's fine, but we want to be able to talk to the seller of that particular package. We want to make sure that it's verified and it's something that we could obviously um, do. We could obviously take that package down because there's so many times where we've hopped on phone calls, with people, and we get on the phone and the person's like, "I'm not the direct seller." It's just like a complete time waster. So the one thing I'll tell you right now is we're looking for direct product. And it's simple questions that you just ask. You ask simple questions, and we're good to go with those types of deals. We'll take those down all day long. So definitely let me know about that. Jeff is asking, how has the market changed for buying bulk note deals from 2011 to 2012? Thanks for all you do for trying to do for us. Uh, Jeff, for buying bulk notes, some people had really good contacts with like Wells Fargo, and some of these other bigger banks similar to like Wells Fargo. Those connections have kind of dried up, especially there. A lot of people used to be able to go to trading desks and be able to buy like second mortgage packages pretty easily. Um, Now it's kind of gone towards more of what we teach within our program of getting in contact with the small state banks and regional banks, and also getting in contact with some of the hedge funds and getting in contact with their trading desk. Um, so bulk deals are still at a very good high right now. And for those people on that aren't familiar with what a trading desk is basically where you're calling, say for instance, a hedge fund, and you're speaking to somebody at the trading desk. They're wanting to trade notes. So they're wanting to trade these mortgages, these mortgage notes. They typically trading desks nowadays are just for first position mortgages. You have to reach a totally different department for second mortgage. So if you're speaking to somebody at a trading desk, you typically tell them what you want. They'll package something up. They may customize it for you depending on the size and send that off to you. So I hope that makes sense. But there's really not a whole lot within the bulk buying bulk right now, Jeff. There's really not a big difference. It's just we want to deal with direct sellers. So if that's the case, let us know. We've definitely got we've definitely have a huge appetite for that. Um, let's see here. Okay. Hap, yeah, that sounds like a good thing. I'll see if I could get that put together for you, for not just for you, but for everybody as well. Hap was asking if I could put together a video for you guys. Now, just an FYI, Hap, if you're looking for the LinkedIn stuff, you could just simply go to training module 3, and you could just watch 3 parts of there. I know it's a little long. I may have to redo those. Redo the videos to make sure that it's I guess I don't want people wasting precious time if they don't have to. So I may have to reconfigure those videos and make them possibly into one, and condense them. Hopefully I could crunch it to where I could make it less time consuming. But for right now, it does a great job for everybody. Um, Letitia, I'm sorry, I was speaking with a private lender and missed some info. What are your terms and partnership? You know what? I have a lot of questions to go over right now, Letitia. So if you want, you could either re-listen to this or you could catch me via email, and I'll be more than happy to explain that to you. Um, okay, John K. I'll go ahead and get you that information right now, so you could check everything out. And let me see here, Roy. Um, Roy, just send everything over to the Asset Manager Millions email. So that's the Asset Manager Millions at gmail.com email. That would work out just fine. Uh, we've got Michael Jordan is asking, what is the income for finding one-off notes under 50%? I'm not sure what you're talking about for income, Mr. Jordan. Um, if you can, income, I'm not really sure, but are you talking about the unpaid principal balance or the actual dollar amount of the particular note? Please clarify once you get a second. Can't see answers here and go to webinar, but heard you typing. I haven't been typing up, Sam. Bassam, problem you don't. Um, yeah, Bassam, let me know when we could reschedule that call, buddy. Okay. Letitia, are you offering debt or equity lending options? We may do debt, like a debt equity type deal. It just depends on the type of deal. So just, yeah, let us know on that. Tom, for a job design. Okay, this is a good question. Um, Tom is saying, I am looking for a new full-time job and have my LinkedIn site designed around the position I'm looking for. How can I contact asset managers with my LinkedIn page not showing me as a real estate investor? Any suggestions? I would just say, I would just say, pick up, just do a different, do another profile. I have two profiles. Um, So that's what I would recommend. Do a second do that. Do a second profile, and you should be good, Tom. So Jeff, um, Jeff, there's I think with what's going on in Washington D.C. is obviously something that's going to be affecting a lot of individuals, but for the mortgage note business, I don't really see I don't see any problems, and we've got lobbyists that we know of. Gentleman is with the Distressed Property Coalition, and John Grant is doing a great job with keeping us investors that are in the coalition abreast of what's going on. And I don't see anything negatively impacting us at the moment. That I don't know what's to say about the future, but as I could say right now, Jeff, I don't see a problem with the current business model for asset manager millions. Okay. Um, um, Marcia, if you have certain deals that we could foreclose on, and you've spoken to the actual the seller, the whoever you're buying the note from, if it's already in the foreclosure process and it's like really like right around the corner, um, let me know. I'd be more than happy to take a look at that with you, because we can get some type of bridge funding to where we can buy it, and then with the intent of getting the deed and then selling it off that way. So just let me know, and we'll be more than happy to do that. Um, Dixon, thank you for this program. I was able to close a deal towards the end of the year. Um, Seem to be getting some questions about funding. So Dixon asked about funding. I'm not sure exactly what type of problems you had with the funding, but I'd be more than happy to talk with you about that. So let me know, and I'd be more than happy to talk with you about that. Um, Letitia, yes, we want commercial and residential notes. John is saying I have contacts with local banks direct, and they have um, other REOs and non-performing first. How can you help me selling and buying them? John, we'd be more than happy to take a look at those with you. So let me know what you have, and we'd be more than happy to take a look at that. So let me see here. Do we have any people that raise their hands? Yes. Let me see here. We've got Hap. Let me go ahead and unmute you, Hap. Hey, Hap. How's it going?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, could hear you just fine.
I was dialing in when you were answering the thing I typed in, and I didn't hear everything you said, but it sounded to me like you missed what I was asking for. The videos are fine. As an overview, your view from 30,000 feet ought to be the first one that people look at. It's excellent. What I was asking for is written checklists because you throw information out there, you verbally say how things should be done, and it would be really helpful. I appreciate this would take a bit of your time, but I think you would help a lot of people like myself who are not as visually oriented as you are. If you would take a minute, type out what do you say when you're inviting somebody on LinkedIn. What, give us your words. We don't have to use them exactly, but I'd like. I figured that out, but I think some other people would like to, have that suggestion. And what do you say on the email that you reply to them after they've accepted invitation?
Sure.
And then just if you could maybe make about 3 pages, not 30, just three. I appreciate there's a lot of stuff on the website, and if you gave us a link in the um, um, in the overview checklist, um, that would be helpful.
Sure.
We would get the odds of us getting it right the first time would be a lot higher. The, that was just a correction. But the reason I called was this: hedge funds. Would you talk for a minute for those of us who don't have a clue what a hedge fund is about what a hedge fund is and how using LinkedIn we can get linked into the hedge fund people that we need to talk to, please?
Sure. You just need to know like what they are and how they operate, or
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I can spell the words, but I don't know what they mean.
Sure. No, I was actually just on the phone yesterday with a hedge fund, and what this particular hedge fund is they've raised about $150 million of capital to buy distressed assets, and the fund itself is designed to buy these notes and hold them long term for a buy and hold scenario. Now, this is a little bit smaller fund than most hedge funds, but just by getting the actual principal on the phone, the actual individual that is the manager of this particular fund on the phone to find out exactly what their fund is designed to do and what they're wanting to do, really kind of helped give perspective on it. I actually read through their whole offering package, and what an offering package is it's basically for looking for investors that have a certain type of capital. There's uh, an unaccredited and an accredited investor that can invest within a fund, um, and this particular individual only works with accredited investors, and accredited investors are labeled as people that have a high net worth, I believe of $1 million or more. And hedge funds take individuals like this, they put their money into their fund, they invest it. And hedge funds do a lot of different things. They could do commodities, stocks, but the particular hedge funds that we do stuff with, they raise capital to buy real estate. They buy they have several different funds that they actually do stuff with. So some of the big hedge funds like BlackRock, they could have different funds all under the one entity of BlackRock, Like for instance, we've talked to BlackRock before, and they have two different funds that we know of. One fund is for securing REOs and getting them rented out and holding on to them for 8 years at a possible maximum. They want to hold on to them for 5 to 8 years with them being rented out at that particular junction. And that's what some of the funds do. So a lot of these hedge funds have a lot of capital that they can do a lot with. When you have capital within the fund, and you have to actually use the money immediately. So, say for instance, I opened up a fund and I had $5 million. I need to use that money as quickly as possible to start giving the investors that have included money into the fund. They need to start seeing that the money is actually being used to do something. So that capital can't just be sitting there. So that's why you're starting to see like companies like BlackRock and some of these other companies that are saying, "Hey, we want to buy up, $1 billion." It's because that's money that they've raised, and they want to start liquidating as quickly as possible so they could buy REOs, and that's why they're buying at retail. It's because they're just wanting to buy because they want to show their investments a good return on their investment. So does that kind of make
Yeah,
sense?
that helps. Two questions that have come up from what you've said. Number one, is there a time of the year typically then that it's most advantageous to approach a hedge fund? That's question number one.
Mm-hmm.
Question number two is, what is the best way? You know what they are. You know a couple of them, but for somebody who doesn't know BlackRock as a name to go to, how do we go about locating them? Do we Google the search term um, hedge fund, comma, real estate, and then once we found a name, then use the name under companies in LinkedIn and see if we can find a principal there? What walk through that a bit more, please.
No, that Hap, you kind of nailed that one right on the head
Okay,
with
so
that one.
that okay.
That's a part of a response I would give. So to just kind of go back on to your second question here, I'll go back to your first here in a second. But your second question, I would also, we kind of just stumbled upon them just by sending out connection after connection. And one of the things that I spoke of yesterday on the real estate mogul call is um, basically just lost my train of thought because a bunch of questions just came in. But we just were calling so many people asking them if they had product to sell, and I got on the phone with one gentleman at a hedge fund, and he simply stated, "No, we're not selling." So I asked him, "So what's your buying criteria?" And I just kind of dumbfounded. I kind of stumbled upon them, Hap. But if you want to, you could get a list of hedge funds that are doing stuff by looking it up on Google. You could type in real estate hedge fund as a search term and start finding people. And then for your first question, can you repeat that again for me?
Yes. Given what you just told us, that uh, once the hedge funds have money, they I'm assuming because they are having to pay interest or something, they're motivated to spend it as soon as possible. Is there a time of the year that is most advantageous from our point of view to start approaching?
No, there's really not. It's not like a corporate structure to where like they don't like a corporate structure doesn't like hiring in quarter four. It's nothing like that. You constantly want to be in contact with them because it could be had certain type of funds are developed and written a certain way to where they need to do certain things with the capital. Like a fund, you're not having to pay interest when you have your fund. You just there's a certain figure that investors are looking to acquire from the fund. You can't place any type of guaranteed returns, or else that'd be in direct violation with the SEC. But there's no real timeline that I would tell you. You could always contact them and get into contact with them. And they're
Start
just they're
start the relationship and stay in touch.
Yeah, and they're constantly wanting to deploy their capital. And the main reason why I know this is I had a call, I think right after or before Christmas, because we're actually going to be starting our own fund. And I spoke to an attorney, and she was kind of running me down exactly what it is. And if you tell investors, hey, I'm going to be investing in non-performing residential and commercial assets, then you're going to need to be doing that constantly. So when we start our fund, I'm going to constantly be having to show them that we've been investing in non-performing residential and commercial assets, or else they could buy back their shares. So it's buying shares into the fund. So most investors buy shares into a fund, and they're it's kind of just like stock. They could get dividends on a quarterly, or they could buy back certain shares and do certain things with those shares within the company. So I know that's kind of a lot, but I tried explaining it the best that I could about how a fund operates and how that actually works.
No, I'm really glad I asked. I know way more than I did before I asked.
Okay, good.
That was good and responsive. Thank you.
Good, no problem, buddy. You have a great day and Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you as well, bud.
Thanks. Take care, Hap. All right, cool. Always glad to talk to Hap. Rich asked, how do the hedge funds survive the buying at 100% of fair market value? Well, you've got to think. They're buying at what? So, say for instance, Rich, there's an REO at $80,000. That's what it's currently at right now. The fair market value is 80,000. They're projecting that the market's going to return in 5 to 6 years. So they plan on making a monthly ROI from the residual income, because they plan on getting all of those units rented out. Um, so they're planning on getting all of those units rented out, paying, which is going to be paying down their investment, and then in 5 to 6 years, they have a projection of what they want to make. So with the amount that they're buying, it's not a small return; it's going to be a large return. So I hope that makes sense, because I believe BlackRock quoted they wanted to buy $1 to $3 billion in just like the Tampa Bay area. And for them, it's not risky. They have certain criteria they have to do within their fund in order to keep that fund available. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Anthony just asked commercial real estate investing in 2013. We were doing it in 2012, and we plan on doing that in 2013 as well. So always, Anthony. So let's see here. We've got Letitia. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you. Letitia.
Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. How about you?
Good, thank you.
hmm I did want to know what type of commercial properties would you be interested in? Would it be multifamily, office, industrial, triple net lease?
Um, as of right now, we're interested in both. You asked more than one particular avenue, but we're interested in looking at any type of commercial assets, if that makes sense.
Okay, and no criteria on it, because I know they're selling some that are performing, but the person wouldn't be able to make the balloon, or is there any criteria you're looking at?
We are looking for performing as well. We do have some buyers that are looking for performing assets. Um, but if you want me to kind of drill down just a little bit more on what we're actually looking for, what we're really looking for is apartment buildings. We're looking for commercial lots with like some sort of a storefront, um, motels, hotels, any type of opportunity like that. We're constantly wanting to look for those as well.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And just to answer your question, I know you asked this just a little bit ago, but we're typically wanting to buy um, for on the residential side. I could definitely let you know we're looking nationwide. We want to be under 50% if it's a one-off or two-off type deal. Um, we want to be able to talk direct to the seller. Um, and the 50% is off of the fair market value. So I know you asked that just a little bit ago, and I just wanted to clarify that since it didn't really take too long.
Okay, awesome. And as far as those residential properties, are you looking at certain markets, like certain MSAs? Do they have to have certain activity?
We just the one thing that I'll tell you is we're looking to stay in neighborhoods and we're looking to stay away from war zone areas.
Okay,
If that makes sense.
it does.
Alrighty. Well, hey, I appreciate you raising your hand. If you need anything else, just let me know.
I will. Thank you.
Take care. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Carolyn is asking, do they have to be flagged hotels? Absolutely not. We're looking at anything and everything. So send them on by. Um, so let me go ahead and unmute Michael Jordan. Hey, Michael.
Hello?
Yes, is this Michael Jordan?
Yes,
Is that really your real name?
I know, I know. Yeah, I'm here on the 84th floor of Sears or Willis Towers, so yeah, it's me.
Have you seen that commercial? The guy that's in the airport and the limousine guy is holding up the sign for Michael Jordan and it's not really Michael Jordan that comes up to him.
No, but I use those situations sometimes just for fun, right?
Yeah. Well, there was
I'll make
another
that.
part to where there's a pizza delivery guy delivering a pizza, and the guy opens the door, and it's not Michael Jordan. It is Michael Jordan, but it's not like Michael Jordan. But
I know. I've been in those situations.
I'm like, gosh, I just did the Michael Jordan quote, and here's Michael Jordan asking a question. So I'm like, is somebody messing around with me here or what?
No, not at all.
But no,
Um,
go ahead and ask your question.
well, my question was earlier. What's the commission on the finders for the finder's fee on these one-off notes?
Well, we'll typically split with you. Like if you're bringing us the deal and we're bringing in the buyer, we'll typically split with you like 50% of whatever we're able to get. We typically are able to get on these particular transactions 5%. So if you bring a
Oh,
deal,
really?
yeah, if you bring a deal and it's at 100,000, we'll get 5,000 and split that with you right down the middle.
Okay. Now, is it possible that those of us who have your program can network? Because there was a couple of ideas that I had for the young lady that was on just prior to me.
Yeah, for those of you that would like to be a part of our Google group, which has actually been picking up some steam lately,
Excellent.
shoot me an email. I'm actually let me do this. I'm going to send out an email, a chat message right now. So everybody, I'm going to send out my personal email. So it's jasonperiodluchese@gmail.com and put in the subject um, Google group invite, please. Just all you need to do is just copy and paste this, so I know that it's you. And I'm going to send this out to the whole entire audience. Okay, because the Google group has really been great lately. There's been sellers, there's been buyers, there's people that have been networking and mingling. So send me an email with that subject on there, and I'll make sure to add everybody that's interested, and get you all taken care of.
Great. And here's another question. I've got a group in the Philippines that's sourcing some product for me.
Uh-huh.
And I've got several pieces that have come up, and I'm wondering if they're. But I'd like to maybe do something retail. Somebody's got like a cash buyer, because in that way, even if I paid 60% and I got a cash buyer, that I could sell these assets to for say 80% of fair market value, I could probably get them done through like a MAP loan. These are all commercial properties, by the way, 100 units and up.
Oh wow. Yeah, we would be interested in talking with you about that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
definitely.
I've got a pretty eager group, and I'd like to expand, but uh, I've had my problems with guys showing up. They come into the office and they make claims, but then when we vet them out, the money's not there.
Well, yeah, let us know because we're actually going to be starting our own fund here pretty soon, and we're going to be able to start taking down some serious stuff.
Cool.
So
Cool.
yeah, just let us know on that, and I'd be more than happy to work with you on whatever you have.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll get you a couple. Now, where do you, just to prove to you what I'm able to do, give me an area, MSA, and then give me an area within that you like.
Um, it's just really for commercial.
Yeah, commercial, 100 units and up.
Um, gosh, it's really kind of tough.
Well, in your town, where you can maybe a 30, 40 minute drive away or less, give me a zip code and or an area, I should say, because sometimes an area might have 2 or 3 zip codes. But give me an area within the state, within that MSA, and let me see what I can pull up for you.
The area code that I would know right off the bat, which would be 46240, and that would be like a 30-mile radius.
Okay, and what city is this? The
Indianapolis.
MSA. Okay. Oh, sure. Okay. I used to own a Ford dealership, and we would go buy cars out of the what's it called, a circle or something.
Oh yeah, the Indianapolis City Circle.
Yeah, we would drive down there weekly because your market was like $300 or $400 under Chicago.
Yeah,
So
I
it
bet.
would yeah, it would more, and sometimes even more, as you might would imagine. But if you're talking about an off color. But the point is that I'm very familiar with that area. Now, within that Indianapolis area, give me a part of town that's stronger than the others. Because again, we don't want to deal with the battle zones, and I could find that out by doing some uh, average incomes. But save me that time. Give me a
Well,
couple of.
you're not going to find a whole lot of the 100 units in Indianapolis, even though it's a
Okay,
large metropolitan area.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's pretty much Cowtown. Well, give me another area that you like or that you bought in that you like.
We've bought recently in a lot of areas. I know we've really been liking the Florida market. I don't have any zip codes off the top of my head. We'll have to probably talk
No, just
offline.
give me the area.
Oh,
Okay, or
yeah,
just give me the area.
just Tampa.
Okay, that works. Okay.
Yeah, we could start with that and see if there's anything in there. I would
Okay. Yeah,
say
I'd like to explain.
I was gonna say since you own the Charlotte Bobcats, is there anything possibly in Charlotte? I,
It's interesting.
I had to say that.
I know. It's interesting. I was in business with his dad before he was killed,
Oh, really?
and yeah, we were getting ready to buy a Ford store here in Chicago. I owned one, and there was another on a strip called Stony Island, which is there's probably 200,000 cars a week that go through that area. And as we were waiting for the last playoff game, and then James was coming back to Chicago to meet with the regional or the district managers for Ford, he was killed.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So, and then I had spent money on buying a building, buying an option on a building. They were going to put the Ford store, so they'd have to pay me rent on it. and I lost the option money and then tried putting used cars there, but it just wasn't strong enough for used cars. It's been excellent for new, but just wasn't. I couldn't get the financing for used. That's the other thing. At that point, lenders wouldn't want to lend anybody that didn't have a new car.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, paper was just too bad for used cars. Exclusively used car joints. So, okay, we'll talk offline.
Yeah, let's definitely
I'll give you an idea of the model. Yeah, listen, thanks, and I appreciate what's happening. I've been real busy. I haven't really got myself involved with your product, but you'll find I am an owner, and I may need to call your administration to have them to send me another key to that online program.
That's not a problem. Just message us. We'll get that out to you immediately.
Thank you very much, and you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Okay.
Well, that was actually pretty cool. You don't get every day to talk to Michael Jordan. Well, he at least knew Michael and his dad, so that still counts. So I'm going to go ahead and take one final question here that was raised, and I'll go ahead and unmute Mar. Are you available, Mar? Mar, I can't hear you. Okay, so let me try Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Stephanie?
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. What I wanted to know, some of my questions were answered throughout the call.
Okay.
But I had a question in regards to payment. When you're used to the wholesaling industry, you usually get paid from the HUD at the time of closing.
Sure.
How is payment processed with this program?
Well, you could do the same thing if you're wanting to flip notes. Like if you don't want to do like an A to B, B to C closing, and you just want to do an A to C, you could still process it as an assignment fee.
Okay.
That well, you could do it as like a 5% assignment fee of total costs of the actual product. So if there's $100,000 note that was just bought, you can get a $5,000 fee out of that pretty easy.
Okay. And then all of that, how that's written up and all that's in the program, because I just got mine yesterday, so I haven't started training yet.
Oh yeah, everything is in there. The one thing that I would tell you is start off with the tab that says training modules and just go through all of those, and it'll show you everything that you need to get accomplished. And if you have questions along the way, just feel free to send us your questions.
Okay. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year.
You too. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
Take care. All right, guys. Well, that is about to wrap it up here. So I appreciate your time. If you have any additional questions, just let me know. I've got some Google group invites already, so that's awesome. If you'd like to be a part of the Google group for Asset Manager Millions, in the chat box is my personal email with the Google group invite. So go ahead and send that over to me, and I'll go ahead and get you in there as quickly as possible. But other than that, guys, if you have your business plan, you want to send it on over. If you're just looking to get another set of eyes at it, to take a look at it, feel free to go ahead and send it on over. And I will go ahead and take a look at that for you. And real quick, Donna, I'll go ahead and get that non-circumvent agreement signed for you and get that all taken care of. If you could just resend it, I'll go ahead and get that taken care of for you today. Apologize about the wait on that. So, guys, I appreciate all your time. You are truly great, and I appreciate the opportunity to get to work working with you. So, until next time, have a great and wonderful day, and hopefully we'll be chatting soon about getting some deals taken care of. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected.
And the story is about, you guys have probably heard about this before. It was a young man who, he wanted to make a lot of money, and so he went to this guru, right? He told the guru, I want to be on the same level you're on. And so the guru said, if you want to be on the same level I'm on, I'll meet you tomorrow at the beach at 4 a.m. He liked the beach. I said, I want to make money. I don't want to swim. Guru said, if you want to make money, I'll meet you tomorrow, 4 a.m. So the young man got there at 4 a.m. He all ready to rock and roll, got on the suit. He should have wore shorts. The old man grabs his hand and said, how bad do you want to be successful? He said, real bad. He said, walk on out in the water. So he walks out into the water. Watch this. When he walks out into the water, it goes waist deep. So he like, this guy crazy. Adrian, like, I want to make money. He got me out here swimming. I didn't ask to be a lifeguard. I want to make money. He got me in. So he said, come out a little further. Walked out a little further. Then he had it right around this area, the shoulder area. So this old man crazy. He making money, but he crazy. He said, come on out a little further. He came out a little further. It was right at his mouth. My man, like, I'm about to go back in here. This God is mine. So the old man said, I thought you said you wanted to be successful. He said, I do. He said, walk a little further. He came, dropped his head in, held him down, hold him down. My man getting scratching. Just before my man was about to pass out, he raised him up. He said, I got a question for you. Somebody answered the question for me. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? He said, I wanted to breathe. Told the guy, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about nobody calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing you care about when you're trying to breathe is to get some fresh air. That's it. And when you get to the point, where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep. You got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you really want to be successful, someday you're going to have to stay up 3 days in a row. Then you'll be successful.